What's up, ladies? It's your girl, Carissa Atkins. I am so excited to be here with you all today, talking about how true success starts from within. And that's what this masterclass is all about, right? I am your host today, Carissa Atkins. I'm a certified life, health, and mindset coach. I love helping babes boss up and achieve the next level of success, whether that's in your health, your life, your business, or like many of you, all of that, right? It's not just about business. It's not just about life. It's about truly like feeling balance and abundance within all of that. So I just want to remind you, ladies, that it's never too late to awaken the best version of you. But in order to reclaim your true power and unlock your greatest potential that I know is in there, you are going to need to boss up and become the CEO of your life and health, or you could risk losing it all. Now, ladies, we can no longer wait to be given permission to boss up, show up, and thrive. If we want to show up in this world as powerful, purposeful women, then it's our job to step up to the plate when it comes to our mental and physical health. It's our responsibility to strengthen our mindset, to work on our health and lifestyle habits so that we can truly be successful, confident leaders. This world needs us, but it's going to take a healthy version of us in order to build our empires that we're striving for. So as purpose-driven women, we tend to hustle and push our way through life and in business. We tend to put ourselves and our health on the back burner while we take care of everyone else, while we're building successful companies and while we're going after career ambitious goals. But as you were hustling and building your empire and climbing the corporate ladder, you might have noticed that somewhere along your life, you left your personal relationships, your friendships, and your health behind. Your passion for your work, paired with the constant stream of caffeine, leaves you feeling great from 8 to 5, but when you get home, you're probably drained, demotivated, and irritable. You know that your health desperately needs an upgrade, but unfortunately, you don't have the energy or the bandwidth to add another thing onto your plate. But all of this hustling and pushing and lack of balance in our lives only leads us to burnout and long-term poor health. Ladies, you can have it all, right? A successful business or career and money in the bank. You can't have all that. Sorry, you cannot have this amazing, successful career, awesome relationships, and tons of money in the bank if you don't have your health. So let me ask you this. What is your poor health and negative mindset towards your body and your own health really costing you? It could be costing you a crap ton of money long-term. So, excuse me, poor health and a negative mindset could lead you down the path of divorce. It could lead you to lower incomes, lack of confidence, experience. You could maybe miss out on those experiences with your family and friends. You could lose out on your self-worth and losing your business and outrageous medical bills and ultimately an early death. Trust me, I see it all the time. I work with very successful women. They're driven, they're go-getters, they're fear-facing women. They're crushing their career goals. They're making so much money, but in reality, they're like, Carissa, my life, like my health, I don't even remember the last time I was present for my kids or my husband or my partner. And they don't feel like they are showing up as their best self. I'm here to tell you, ladies, that there is more to life than the constant hustle. And I 100% believe that women really can have it all, right? A successful career or business, a healthy and nourished body and mindset, amazing relationships, tons of sex, and of course, a crap ton of fun. I'm here to tell you that change is possible. How do I know this? Because I am living freaking proof. And today's Success Starts From Within Masterclass workshop, you are going to discover and learn the 5-step framework that takes you from just surviving life to thriving in all areas. Plus, you're going to receive my Breakthrough Your BS Health Method, which will help teach you how to create your roadmap to living a healthier, happier, and more abundant life. But first, who am I and how do I know all about the health, the hustle, and abundance? Well, if you missed my keynote presentation the other day, feel free. Hopefully, you get a chance to rewatch that. But if you didn't, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Okay. So just like many of you, I wear several hats. I'm a mother of two. I'm a wife to an Air Force man. I'm the CEO of my business. I am the coach. I am the marketer. You name it, I do it. But my favorite hat to wear is the hat of a champion. Right? I'm a former marketing and HR professional turned two-time entrepreneur, certified health and life coach, personal trainer, and again, a champion for women's health. I became a coach and a speaker because I found myself frequently being approached by women who needed advice and accountability and support in regard to life's biggest challenges, which are for most women, guilt, shame, body image, confidence, energy, exercise, stress, careers, relationships, you name it. I have helped support and guide and helped hold my clients available or accountable to their highest self. I have conquered many of the personal challenges that each and every one of you face, right? And my past experiences give me a very unique perspective on how to help you overcome those roadblocks. So what I'm about to share with you today in this masterclass is what I have personally learned and experienced and taught. So I've learned all of this by having a major mental, emotional, and physical transformation. So really quickly, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and my history. So let me take you back to 2010. On the outside, I looked like a fun, loving, successful go-getter who had her life together. I was well respected in my community and in my career. I had two awesome kids, and I had a husband who loved and supported me. I mean, life looked pretty good, right? Most women would tell me, they're like, oh my gosh, Carissa, your husband, your kids, your career, like it all looks so amazing. But on the inside, it felt and looked completely different. I don't know if you've ever had that moment where you have wore so many hats that you've lost who you are. I have gone through that time in my life multiple times. It's been like this actually, where I've started to notice that I am no longer showing up with authenticity, and I felt like an imposter. I didn't feel like a great mom on the inside. I didn't feel like a sexy wife because I hated my body. I hated it. So even before 2010, I grew up with a lot of childhood trauma and moments of fearing for my life. I had a younger brother who, he was bipolar and schizophrenic. And so we didn't know what was going to happen on an everyday basis. And this was the 6-year-old Carissa that kind of had to deal with this. And you're asking, where were your parents? And honestly, my parents were working. They were entrepreneurs themselves. And there was 4 of us kids, and we were kind of left, right, to take care of ourselves. I mean, my sister was older, but she didn't really process these kinds of things well. So she would always leave or lock herself in the room. But anyways, I grew up with lots of childhood trauma, just like many of you. As a teenager and a young mom, I had my son at 15 years old. I experienced a lot of life very quickly, a lot of life that was full of fear. I had a lot of responsibility, as you can imagine, as a young teen, going to high school, working, living on her own. But that relationship turned really toxic really fast. And I found myself in a very, very abusive relationship, which led me to struggling with finding my true happiness and my balance and my sense of self-purpose and love. This was all before the age of 19. Okay. So all of this trauma and abuse led me to becoming a very emotional eater and a woman who not just played small, but she played the victim really well. I mean, that's what I knew how to do. right? Growing up with it and then turning it into my young adulthood, I just learned to become the victim of my story. I didn't see that the pain would in fact become my power. So there I was in 2011, right? My weight was increasing because I had zero self-worth. I hated my body. I was shoving food down my throat just to cope with everything, which only made me feel that much worse about myself. I was depressed. I was ashamed of my body. I had zero confidence, like zero. It was fading away. I was not the woman that you see here today. In fact, had you told that woman, like, oh, Carissa, in 11 years, you're going to be on covers of magazines, you're going to be teaching other women how to lose weight, I would have laughed at you, then went and ate, and then cried. That would have been my pattern. Okay. My health and my self-care took a huge nosedive in 2011. I felt like my life was spiraling out of control. I felt like I didn't have a sense of direction and clarity. And when I tried to think of all the things that I could be doing, I felt so stinking overwhelmed by all the stuff that I could be doing that I just chose to stay stuck instead. I know lots of women feel that way. You may feel that way. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. So guess what? I'm just going to focus on what I have control over. And most of the time that means our careers and our businesses. And that's exactly why we kind of leave our health and our life to like fall by the wayside. So there I was feeling pretty crappy, feeling pretty sorry for myself. When I was stationed in Germany with my family, I had two major moments in life. Like, you know what I'm talking about, like the moments in life that just hit you so hard. I like to call them my rock bottom moments. So I didn't just have one, I had two. Okay. One rock bottom moment led me to a major life epiphany, which led me to ultimately here today. Okay. So there I was sitting in the doctor's office when I got some really, really hard to hear truth. So my daughter was playing right beside me. We were actually at an appointment for my daughter. So it wasn't even for me. And all of a sudden the doctor turned and looked at me and she said, Carissa, we probably need to talk, have a conversation about your own health. And I said, what do you mean? Like, we're here for my daughter. And she said, your daughter's going to turn out just like if you don't change your lifestyle. In fact, she said, you're 5 foot tall, you're 213 pounds. If you don't change your lifestyle today, you might not be around for your daughter in 10 or 15 years. Right? I mean, oh my gosh, who is this doctor to be so God honest, like honest with me? I was mad. I was upset. I was embarrassed. I was fighting back the tears in my eyes. And, I was so upset. I didn't even know what to do. I grabbed my stuff because I didn't want her to see that I was in pain, right? I grabbed my stuff, I grabbed my daughter, and I hauled butt out of that office. I drove home and I just was so incredibly sad. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like I didn't think I was this bad. I didn't think I was obese. I didn't think like, all this stuff was going on in my head. And I felt sorry for myself. I got home. I smoked cigarettes. I drank wine. I went to bed hoping to God that the next day I would feel back to my old self, which honestly was better than how I felt. And you all know how I felt, right? I felt crappy about who I was. But that night I felt that much worse that I just hoped to God that I would, feel the same, right? In a sense. Turns out when you have a major moment in a doctor's office, your life changes forever. Okay. So that was the rock bottom moment. Number one, how dare someone call me out and be totally honest with me, right? I mean, who does that anymore? But the next day, the real epiphany came. Okay. So I'm sitting on the couch. I look over at a picture of my mom. And for the first time in my entire life, I saw just who my mama was. I didn't see the woman who was hustling. I didn't see the mom who could do anything in her career. I didn't see the leader that I once saw in her. Instead, I saw myself as her, as someone who was 320 pounds, someone who was battling cancer, someone who had diabetes, someone who had zero energy, someone who gave every bit of her life to every single person besides herself. She became so consumed with her business that she forgot to take care of herself, which ultimately led her to her death. So that is the woman that I saw sitting on the couch, looking at her. Quite the difference. That was the moment, ladies, that sparked something so deep inside me that allowed me to find this sense of purpose, find a sense of motivation within me. That was the day that I bossed up and took responsibility for my life. That was the day that I said, Carissa, you deserve more. You need more. Your family depends on you to be more. But what does more look like? And I asked myself, what does more look like? And more looked like taking care of me. Taking care of me, because you see, I could see my mom taking care of everyone else but herself. And that was the moment that led me to becoming who I am today. I'm telling you, I didn't do anything extravagant. I didn't do anything extreme. In fact, I took it one day at a time. I took it one habit at a time, one meal at a time, one decision at a time, 1 pound at a time. I began to lose that unwanted weight, and I slowly reclaimed my best life. Losing close to 100 pounds. In fact, it was, I think, 91 pounds the right way may have taken me 3 or 4-ish years to do. But I promise you this, being able to lose that weight and sustain my weight loss forever makes me feel awesome. And feeling awesome makes me feel incredible. And when you feel incredible, ladies, it allows you to step up and become unstoppable. Unstoppable in our families, unstoppable in our businesses, unstoppable in our lives. And that is something you cannot put a price tag on. That is not something, that feeling of awesomeness is not something you can go and buy at the store. Sure, you can buy things here or there that make us feel great, but deep down inside, if you know something is not right, you're not ever going to feel happiness and true abundance. So if you're ready to live a more abundant and healthy life, I want you to grab your pen right now, your favorite pen, and grab a piece of paper or a notebook, hopefully something that you've been taking notes on this entire conference. And I'm about to break down the 5-step framework that's going to get you from feeling like a hot mess to health boss babe success. All right, number 1, I'm going to need you to stop shooting all over yourself. Okay. And when you stop shooting all over yourself, that means you can start thriving in life. Okay. So this strategy alone, and you can take any of these practices. Yes, I'm going to focus in on health and wellness, but you can take any of my strategies and apply them to business, apply them to your relationships, apply them to whatever area of life that you feel overwhelmed in. So when you stop shooting and you start doing, you then start thriving. This all helps you feel less overwhelmed, less stress, and allows you to step back into the best version of you. Okay. It puts you back in control of the area that doesn't feel so hot. All right. So back when I was 213 pounds, I mentioned that I felt so overwhelmed with all the stuff and the shoulds and the coulds and the musts and the needs that I felt so overwhelmed that it just paralyzed me. I was like, I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll just stay in this crappy spot, right? So if that's you, this strategy alone is going to help you. So what did I do, right? When I realized, I was like, Carissa, you deserve more. You're going to boss up. You're going to raise your standards. You're going to start making healthier changes. I simply got out a piece of paper and I took out a pen and I started writing all the shoulds down. Okay, so that's what I'm going to ask you to do right now is start writing all those shoulds down, those things that you know you should be doing. I should be drinking more water. I should be exercising. I should be eating less. I should be not feeling so bad when I eat something junky. Anything that you think that you should be doing, put it down on paper right now. Okay, step number 1 is put all of your shoulds on paper. Just get a good solid list of everything that you think you should be doing. Okay. Which will take us to step 2. Step 2 is I want you, it's the you pick 2 step. And I'm not talking about Panera Bread. Okay. So you pick 2, meaning you need to circle out of your list. I want you to circle the top 2 needle movers that would leave the biggest impact on your life. Okay. So there I was with a list full of shoulds. And I thought, well, that's a lot of stuff to do. And if I tried to do it all, it would be very overwhelming. So instead, I said, Carissa, just pick 2. Just pick 2. And I circled the 2 that I was going to commit to. Okay. So I was going to commit to these top 2 things. At 2:13, I realized that I needed to A, move my body more. Okay. And B, I needed to stop eating so much food. Back then, I didn't know what clean eating looked like. I didn't even know that the word clean eating was even exists, right? Like I ate to feed emotion, to like shove down emotions. I told you that. And so after the first plate, I was already full. So the second plate would be to kind of numb out my pain. And the third plate would just put me in just total like, ugh. So I just wanted to sleep. That's how I wanted to show up in my life, was feeling miserable. I was doing that on purpose because I wasn't willing to stop and ask for help when I really needed it. But anyways, I picked 2. Okay. All right. The next one is step number 3. After you've written down all your shoulds and you've picked your top 2 needle movers, now is the time to put your pen down and do step 3, which is all about visualization. Okay. In order for us to change sometimes our conscious space, our reality, we first have to start to believe and create a new identity. Okay. This is the funnest one, I promise. This is the funnest out of all the steps because it feels so good to feel good. Can I get an amen for that one, right? It feels good to feel good, ladies. So for right now, I want you to put that pen that I asked you to pick up, I want you to put it down. And then I want you to close your eyes. Okay. And I just want you to start to breathe, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I just want you to just really focus in on your breath here, really finding this sense of peace. And with your hands facing up towards the sky, I just want you to slowly focus in on your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I just want you to quickly scan your body for any tension or resistance that you feel. Maybe any stress that's stuck in your body. And I just want you to simply feel it and notice it disappear with a breath. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Those stuck feelings, ladies, they don't serve you. So go ahead and release them now. Using your breath to really focus in on how you want to be feeling instead. Breathing in and breathing out. Now I just want you to imagine a version of you that wakes up with clarity. I want you to imagine a version of you who feels confident and sexy and powerful. I want you to imagine a version of you that is showing up in this world as the beautiful soul, this purpose-driven woman. Can you imagine her? I want you to just go ahead and take her for a test drive. I want you to notice the thoughts that this version, this badass version of you is thinking. What is she thinking about? And now I want you to imagine what she's doing, right? How does she present herself to the world? How does she show up to a networking event? How does she show up in her business with confidence and poise? How does she show up in this world? And now I just want you to imagine this best version of you. What are the habits that she's doing every single day that allows her to be her? What are the habits that she does or that she doesn't do? And now I just want you to imagine whose lives she's impacting. By her showing up, being the best version of her, now who gets the better version of her? Can you imagine her? Really step into this version who is powerful and confident and strong and healthy. Step up to the version of you. Give her a hug and tell her thank you for allowing you to experience what the best version of you looks like. Say thank you. Thank you. I now know what I need. And with that, ladies, I invite you to come back into your body, back into your breath, focusing in on breathing in and breathing out. When it feels right, go ahead and begin to open your eyes. That is a creative visualization practice that you can do every single day that will allow you to plant the seeds of what the successful version of you looks like. Okay? You have just created a new identity for yourself. If you want the full 8-minute meditation version of that, I'm happy to send it to you. So pick up that pen, write my phone number down. It's 402-880-2142. Go ahead and text me the word boss up, and I will send you the full 8 to 9 minute meditation and recording for you to do every single day. That is free. That's my gift to you. It's something that my clients get. I love walking women through visualizations because I truly believe that we can start to envision it inside of our brains. We can then start to believe it. And then once we believe it, we start to show up as that woman. Okay? I hope you loved that visualization just as much as I do. All right. So that was step number 3. So we stopped shooting. We made a list. We circled the 2 needle movers. We've just started to envision what success looks like. Now it's time for you to commit to the goal and the habit. Okay. It's time for you not just to commit to those 2 habits that I had you circle, or those 2 action steps, whatever it is that you circled, I want you to commit to that. But the second step to part 4 is letting go of the BS. Okay. So the difference between committed and dabbling is committed means that you are willing to do whatever it takes, right? That is commitment. That is us showing up in our businesses. Dabbling is just kind of what we somewhat do, but we know we wish we had more time for. Okay. So a lot of women dabble in their health. They maybe show up once a week to yoga, but they know they need to be showing up more. Right? They know they need to be taking their own health and their own life seriously. They know they need to commit to that, but they don't know how to do it. So once you can commit to those 2 things, like literally, I commit to doing exercise daily and eating less. Now it's time to let go. This is probably the hardest step. Letting go means writing down all your excuses, writing down all the stories that live within inside of your head, writing down all of your limiting beliefs that show up when you are in a weak moment, right? We've all had that moment of lack where we're like, maybe I should just go back to working somewhere else. Maybe this life thing is getting too hard. Maybe I should just go back. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not worthy enough. All that crap is not your story. So it's time to write a list of all the things that you need to let go of, the excuses, the stories, and the limiting beliefs. Then once you have that piece of paper full of all of those beliefs, I want you to crumple it up and throw it in the trash. And when you do so, I want you to say, I am letting go of the old and I am ready to commit to living my best life. All right. Whew. We are on fire and we are moving quick. So the 5th step to this framework is to get the support and accountability, which means you need to find your tribe, and you need to find a tribe full of mixed women. Okay. So creating your tribe of rock stars, it's simple and easy to do. You don't need a lot of people in your tribe. You just need some key players. Okay. So number 1 is go ahead and make a list. This is, step number 5 is find your tribe. But underneath that tribe, I want you to make a list. Who in my life supports me? Okay. These are people that support you and encourage you to be your best self. They're your cheerleaders. They're the, you got it, girl. Okay. Then the second list is I want you to think of people, women specifically, who inspire you. Okay. This can be authors. This can be YouTubers. This can be coaches. This could be your mother, right? My mom inspired me. Okay. So I just want you to make a list of women who inspire you. The third part of finding and making your list of awesome rockstar tribe members is those good old accountability partners. I want you to find your maverick. And what I mean by that is when you are searching for an accountability partner, because there's a big difference between supporter and inspirer. Okay. Accountability is where like, okay, my list becomes the action. Okay. And action breeds success. So accountability partners, finding your maverick. I want you to find someone 10 times better than you. If you want to become an international speaker, you need to find women who are already international speakers. If you want to lose 20 pounds, you need to find women who have already been there, done that. Okay. If you want to maybe build a better relationship, you need to find women who have rock solid relationships with their partners. Okay. Don't find accountability partners that are your best friends. Those are more of your cheerleaders. And I'm not saying anything about my best friends, but our friends tend to not be able to hold us accountable to our highest self. Okay. All right. So now that you have my proven 5-step framework that takes you literally from surviving life to thriving, let's dive into breaking free from the hustle culture so that you can attain the sustainable success that you actually desire. What I mean by all of this is, yes, we want to be women who are building empires and doing amazing things on this planet. But again, without our health, it's really hard to show up like that. And I know exactly how that feels. So in 2017, I was in the best physical shape of my life. My body was ripped. I was crushing career goals left and right in my corporate job. I was getting noticed in my community for being like this super fit marketing HR professional chick. People in my community loved me, right? It was my job to volunteer and get involved on boards and nonprofits and do good things in my community. And I loved it. I loved it. But you see, ladies, even though I was in the best shape of my life physically, and career-wise, my spiritual health was a wreck. My mental health was a wreck. My emotional well-being was not there. Even though I had melted all that fat off my body, I looked toned and lean, and I felt awesome in my community. Deep down inside, that hustle and that always on mentality was killing me. My stress levels were so high. I was honestly on the verge of burnout, but my stress levels were so high that my health took another nosedive, right? So I was so stressed that my hair was falling out. I was having eczema all day long, like my scalp, my arms, everything. My digestion was so mad at me because of all the stress and the hormones that I was pumping into my body that shut down. My energy was literally like sustained by all the constant stream of coffee. And when I got home, I turned to booze to help shut it off. I thought I just need to relax, right? Because I was irritable with my kids. I would yell at them when I came home. I wouldn't even have the energy to cook a healthy dinner. So I would find myself running through, the pizza joint, picking up pizza or McDonald's or something like that, only to get home, shove some food in my mouth because I was low on energy, and then to drink wine to help me unwind. I've been there. And yes, I loved my 8 to 5, right? My job, my corporate, my life, what was my life. I loved it so much, but really what I was leaving behind was my health again and my family. My relationships suffered. I was a full-blown workaholic. And I believed, unfortunately, that my hustle and hard work ethic created my worthiness. And that worthiness that was so totally wrong, you guys, it was killing me. Okay. I became so consumed with hitting those career goals and supporting my community and feeling like a rock star in my community that I lost my marriage. I mean, a 15-year marriage to walk away from that was tough. one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make. But I just grew so far apart from my partner and my kids that, my relationship wasn't there. It was dead. Okay. And my kids didn't get the best version of me. I think you know where I'm going with this. Okay. So yes, I am not the woman that I once was in 2010, right? I'm physically not her. She was 213. I am physically not her. Today, I am mentally, emotionally, and physically the strongest I have ever been. And in 2018, right, I was the hustling workaholic mom who gave every bit of herself to becoming, this amazing community member. And I was just doing what I was programmed to believe. Remember my mom? Like I wanted to be so much like her deep down, that I became her. Even though I had that aha moment and lost all the weight, I still became the hustling mama who let everything else go. So yes, today I am confident, right? I am sexy. I am strong. I inspire others. I feel balanced. I have boundaries. I have healthy habits. I have my health. I work hard, but I also play hard. Remember, I told you, I believe that every woman can have that success in every area of their life. But success has to include playtime. We have forgotten what it's like to have fun in life. Okay. So I am literally living my best life and it feels so freaking amazing. So I want to help you get to that point. I want to help you bust through hustle culture, or you can take the risk of losing it all like I did. Okay. And I don't want that for you. I want every woman to have a plan, an action step for her to go from this constant hustle to this healthy, vibrant, gorgeous woman showing up for herself. So here's my 5-step framework for breaking free from the constant hustle and always on demand mentality, which again is going to help you regain your life back. Oh my God. If you are ready, grab your pen. Here we go. So step number 1, honestly, is all about ownership and awareness. Okay. So back in the day, yes, with my health, I had to take ownership. But when I was slaving that corporate life, I had to take ownership. I had to take stock. I had to get a real crystal clear picture of what I was doing to myself. And I had to take responsibility. I had to say, okay, it wasn't the fact that I had a terrible husband. It was the fact that I let us go. I let us drift apart, so far apart that we lost connection. I had to take ownership that I was a workaholic that needed help. Okay. And I truly believe that once you have this level of awareness, which is really like the groundbreaking thing, only then can you step into a life full of happiness and health. It's when you take back the responsibility. It's when you take ownership of what you are doing and what you're not, which includes the thoughts that happen within your brain. Okay, so once you take ownership, step number 2 is all about clarity, purpose, and finding your why. Ladies, you have to get clear on what you want out of life. Okay, you have to know, what is it that I want? What impact do I want to be leaving? Where am I going with all of this hustle? Oh my gosh, I was hustling and slaving away and leaving my kids behind for a life that I really didn't want. Okay, I was building this empire for somebody else, something that I would never have any control over, nor did I want that. I was maxed out. I was at the highest that I could ever be. Highest pay, highest, titles, everything. And I forgot my purpose. And it wasn't until I sat down with my mentor and she said, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I don't know. I feel like this is the purpose. The life I'm on is great. I'm learning lots, but what is it all for?" I had to get clear on what I wanted out of life. So once you get clear, a crystal clear vision for where it is you want to go, you need to then ask yourself, why? Why do I want this path? You have to figure out the why. That 3-letter word is so powerful. It will change your life. When I found my why in 2011, I wanted to live. I realized I was worth living for. I was worth taking care of. For my kids, yes, but eventually that why turned into me. Okay, so find your why. Get super clear on where you want to go and why you want to get there and what you're willing to do to change. Okay, step number 3, probably one of my favorites on this strategy, but it's all about once you know where you want to go, and then once you know why you want to get there, you need to step back and get crystal clear on your priorities. Okay. So this is where I'm going to ask you to make a list of 3 or 5 priorities for your health and for your business or your career, whatever it is that you're in. And the reason why I say keep them separate is because so many women are going to be like, I can't think of just 5. I would encourage you want to get down to 5, right? Which would be like maybe you, your career, your family, your faith, something like that. But that's so generic. I want you to break down what is so incredibly important to you. Like so important that if you lost it tonight at midnight, you would fight like hell to get it back. So priority number 1 on my health side would be exercise, right? So if I think of health is like the thing. So what are 5 priorities that support my health? Okay, that's what I'm getting at here. So at the top of like your paper, put, your health. And then I want you to write down 5 things that you need to make a priority. So for me, that's exercise, sleep, nutrition, less stress, and more self-care. Okay. So once I have those 5 priorities crystal clear, okay, daily exercise, a bedtime, sleep, I said that, nutrition, less stress, and self-care. Those are my 5 priorities for my health. Then let's turn it to the work, right? Let's turn it to work. So from me, my work is my clients. It's speaking engagements, it's marketing for my business, it's sales calls, and it's business development. Those are 5 things that I literally make a priority in my Monday through Friday activities. So once you know your priorities, then if anything else comes up on your plate, you can simply say no. Because I know a lot of us ladies, we're people pleasers, right? We don't want to say no. We want everyone to think that we can handle it all, but we can't. Okay. So the reason why we say yes to all kinds of things is because we don't have clarity on what's truly important to us. Because I guarantee when you say yes to something that doesn't truly support you, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to yourself. Okay. So once you take ownership, you find clarity and figure out your why, then you get crystal clear on those priorities. Then it's time, number 4, to upgrade your organization and calendar. So a huge key to my success is scheduling everything. I am a scheduling junkie. Okay. So when I look at my calendar, I first off have your blank calendar open. And if you're like blank, yeah, right. So I get you may have to scroll a couple of weeks to start to adapt this time blocking system that I'm going to tell you about. So that is the key, right? You can't just book it. You can't look next week because next week's already full. Let's be honest. You may not even be able to look 2 weeks out before you're going to notice that it's already full. So I want you to go a couple of weeks out or just start a fresh month. Say, okay, starting next month, this is what I'm committing to. So what that means is first off, you want to schedule everything that has to do with you, your health, and your family. Yes, it's necessary because what gets scheduled becomes a priority. So if family time is important to you, you better schedule that time. If going on a date with your partner is important to you, schedule it. If your health, your exercise, your bedtime, every single thing that is important to you on your personal life needs to get scheduled first. Then you can start scheduling in all of those business tasks, those priorities for your business. Okay, you with me? All right. Last step, and then we'll end today. So the last step to this framework is probably one of the hardest ones to do. And the reason why I say that is because us women, we like to take on and do everything. Okay. So the last step to this 5-step break through your BS framework is asking and be willing to receive help. Ladies, I hate to tell you this, but we can't do it all. And we need to be willing to delegate, to delete, or do things on our list. Okay. So we can't do everything on the list, right? There's tons and tons of things on our list to do every single day. We feel overwhelmed by it. Okay. So when I have my to-do list in front of me, I literally break down the 3 Ds. Okay. So 3 Ds: delegate, delete, and do. So if you've got too many do's next to your list, that means you've got a big problem. Okay. That actually says, I actually have a problem with letting people take things off my plate. Okay. So you want to have a good balance of, do I really need to do this today or this week or this month? Do I really need to be doing it? And if you say yes or no, then you either need to delegate it or delete it. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So the 3 Ds is a huge strategy that I do every single week when I'm writing out what I want to do for that week. Do I need to do it? Do I need to delegate it off to my assistants or my other coaches? Or do I just need to do it and get shit done? All right. Okay. So, take a big breath. We just created a roadmap for your health and your business success. You received my proven processes, my strategies, my tips around building a healthy life, abundance, and beating the hustle culture, which will ultimately help you build and become the greatest form, of you possible. Getting a handle on your hustle and your health, I promise you, will give you wealth and abundance. All right. So right now, looking at your piece of paper, one of my favorite things to do is I want you to just sit and look. And I want you to look at your paper and I want you to say, what was my favorite part about this masterclass? What is the golden nugget that I'm walking away with? And I just simply want you to put a giant star beside it. Not another circle, because I asked you to circle things before. I want a star next to the golden nuggets. Okay. I would love, love, love to hear those gold nuggets. Feel free to connect with me either in the virtual booth, on my website, on Instagram, on Facebook. Just say, hey girl, hey, I just saw you present and I absolutely loved X that you taught me. I would love to hear what you're taking away from today's masterclass. If you felt like today's masterclass was the perfect dose of motivation and kick in the ass that you needed to hear, I will be giving away 25 15-minute health strategy sessions. 25. Okay. They are 15 minutes long. No, it's not a sales pitch. It's literally me giving back to you. It's me giving you 15 minutes of my time so that you can get crystal clear on where you need to go with your health. All right. So I only have 25 available for this CEO Nonprofit Summit. I'm going to be doing those over the next 7 to 10 business days. All you have to do to claim your 15-minute health call is to text the number 402-880-2142 with the message of health. And I will automatically send you over my calendar invite. We will schedule a time for us to work together for 15 minutes. And you, my friend, will come out feeling on top of the world after that call. That number again was 402-880-2142 with the message of health. And I will send you my online booking link again so that you can reach that calendar. So ladies, let me leave you with one final thought. Okay. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Let me repeat that since I kind of shuffled that out. If you don't sacrifice for what you want now, what you want becomes the sacrifice. I see it thousands of times with ladies coming to me. They're like, I need to make my health a priority now. I need to find myself. I need to find my purpose in life. And they feel like they've wasted so much time, right? They've sacrificed all that's important. And for what? They've lost what's truly important to them. Ladies, fall in love with taking care of yourself. Your health is your wealth. Thank you so much.